What's up, my construction entrepreneurs? Tyrone here. I'm in SAC right now. We leave today. Came down, man. Sad time. My wife's father died all of a sudden, had a heart attack. So we had to rush up here because he's Muslim, and the burial's pretty quick. And that burial experience was definitely something I'm glad I didn't miss, because that was very eye-opening and made me reflect on quite a bit of things here. So today I leave, but I'm on one of those walks here in SAC, and I just got the calling to just touch on a little bit about what I've been through, to reach the people out there that feel like they don't have any other way to make things happen. Especially the people out there that feel they can't get their contractor's license for some reason, from their past or whatever. If you're in the construction trade and you're afraid to get your license because you have a background, you've been to jail before, you're on parole, you just got off parole, you're on probation, just got off probation, you just been arrested several times, Now, some of you that I mentioned that's in certain situations that I just talked about cannot get your license. You have to allow some time to pass. But what I want to say is that no one is stopping you from getting it. Even if you gotta wait another 2 years, another 4 years, another 5 years. A lot of things we want to happen just overnight, because we have put ourselves in these certain situations. Now we have to allow ourselves to have patience to allow whatever time frame that we need to pass to get what we really want. So if just because you have a criminal background, that doesn't mean you're automatically disqualified. You have to look into it. I went to jail. First time I went to jail was at 14. Okay, I did 3 months in Central, I think Los Padrinos and LP. I forget, LP, whatever those. Silmar, Los Padrinos, and Central. Right? That's here in Southern California. I went to those 3 juvenile halls. Did 3 months time, okay? For shooting a BB gun in someone's home. After that, I got out. A year later, at 15, so I went at 14. A year later, at 15, I went in. I went in from 15 to 21, okay? Let's sit down here. I went in from 15 to 21, right? Oh yes, by the way, it's beautiful out here in SAC. Beautiful out here. I went in from 15 to 21. I gangbanged all the way up until the day I got released. Okay? Oh man, I remember those days. You couldn't tell me anything. Like you couldn't, I was right about everything. I knew what I was talking about, especially from what I learned in jail, right? Math, I taught myself math and all kind of stuff from me being a lockup, and I was terrible in jail too. But I got out, and when I got out, I got a job. It was tough getting a job. Now, mind you, none of this stuff is easy, right? To get a job, I remember my first job. I offered to work a week for free. That's how I got my first job. It was at this place called SoCal Computer Recyclers. And the reason why I had to offer to work a week for free is because my brother and my cousin worked there as well. And he felt like you got too much family members here. So I threw that out. Hey, let me work a week for free for you, see how I do. And he hired me at the end. Well, he hired me at the end. And and I worked the full week for free, 7 days. He did not pay me. And he hired me on. I forget what the minimum wage was back then, maybe $6, $6.50 or something. but I was getting paid temp change, and I was only working part-time at that. So I need to find me a bench. So working part-time, then someone quit, and or they stopped showing up, and then I went in the office and said, hey, can I take his pay and his shift? And the owner at that time, Randy, he says, yeah. So I wound up moving up like a buck or two, and then wound up getting on full time. And that's how I got it. And then I couldn't move up from there. Then I wound up getting with another company, dealing with fire safety or something like that. Safety Pro. It was like one of those multi-level pyramid type deals. I don't like calling them pyramid because I learned a little bit more about them now, but you guys know what I mean. So I had one of those, right? I had one of those that I was doing. Hope that's not too loud because of the water here. And then I moved from that one to construction. And then that's when the first company I worked for was by the name of Creed Art, like concrete, Creed Art. And this is when I fell in love with concrete. And I learned everything there, really pushed. And then I wanted to get my license, right? I got on with another company, Aaron Martega. That's the company that I teamed up, that I partnered up with in San Diego, where I was making tons of money right before I opened up the school, before that thing ended. So I jumped with Aaron Martega, and the owner of Aaron Martega, he does about 50 million, on the high end, $70 million a year doing contract work with SDG and SoCal Gas. Anyway, so I got with that company as like a laborer. Wound up moving up, and eventually years later wound up becoming this guy's partner. Well, he signed for my license, which was good. Well, during the time of me getting my license was a very stressful time. I was able to get a discount with my license because at that time they had a 2-for-1 deal, to where as long as you bring a partner, you guys split half of the cost of a license. So I brought my brother with me, and my brother was into, I think, welding at that time. And so we paid our money. I forget how much it was, maybe $800 a piece or something like that. So we paid, and I started going, and then he fell off and wound up moving somewhere else. So I stayed in it. And when I stayed in it, took my test, I submitted my my application. Now, mind you, when you submit your application, they ask you for a background check. They ask you about your background, because they're going to do a background check, like through federal, through the FBI, and through DOJ. Right? This is like serious. So they was like, hey, you need to tell us everything. And if you don't tell us everything and expose everything, then you could be denied. So I told them everything. Right? So, well, during the time as I told them everything, I was still going through the process, right? So I wound up sending over everything, had to research court information, parole information. It's tons of information, so they don't question you on anything that you should be providing. And this is why some of you that have a criminal background, some type of criminal background, or been through some type of court system, you want to get help with your application, because this is a serious thing. You want to make sure that the first time you submit, you pass. What if someone, and someone shouldn't charge you more than $200 to $500 to help you with the application process. Not just the submittal one time, the application process. That means they help you until from start to finish. Even if you didn't go through their school. If you sign up with someone to help you for them to help you with your application, you signing up. A call coming in. Okay, you're signing up You should be signing up for an application process, not just a one-time submittal. They're going to help you through the whole process. So if you get